lot of protocols when it comes to advanced beings interacting with humans, because the gap, the distance between them and us is great. So there has to be some kind of process to provide basic information without overloading, without causing upset, without causing people just to go mad. And that's a difficult thing to do, because in the past some people did go mad. Some people did go too far with the information that was given. By the same token, there are other protocols to protect the integrity of the information and the integrity of the person whom is being contacted. And that is because advanced beings, stellans, have enemies. There are benevolent stellans, and they have enemies, or they have competitors. Maybe not an enemy, but a competitor who has their own agenda. And so another group of stellans come in, and now they're competing with information. For example, the benevolent stellans want to share sacred knowledge, and the other stellans, they want to control that knowledge. Otherwise, humans or whatever civilization, whatever species, they might ascend too fast, and they might realize what's going on. So I know we tend to like the extreme situation where there's evil and there's an invasion and there's people here to help us, but it is, in fact, it's a lot more subdued. It's a lot more competitive. It's a lot more designed for basic control or administration of a civilization. It's just like a government, right? There's a government leader, and they have a 5-year plan, they have a 10-year plan, they have a strategy. You know, they want Medicare, and they want gun bans, and they want to prevent abortions. And then there's the other side. They want to have abortions, they want guns, and healthcare is all private, right? So it's the same race of people, but it's different agenda. It's not necessarily evil. I think that's the key, that we tend to go, well, there's an evil species and there's a good species and there's a benevolent. It's a competition for control, for administration. Who has the administrative ability over this group, this species? Now, the Earth civilization over thousands and thousands of years has been administered by advanced races, by stellans, various groups who come here and hatch a plan. They leave, another group comes here, try to fix the problem. They leave, thinking everything's okay. Another group comes in and says, hey, did you hear about this? Well, let me show you a secret, occult information. And now we have a situation where we're overloaded with information. We have competing ideas. People believe all kinds of stuff that they won't share, but it's inside. And that's not good. What I like to do is I like to share things as they are, as I understand it. And my work is designed to awaken you, is designed to make you more aware, is to improve your awareness, is to cause ascension through knowledge. And like I said, I never said you have to believe every single word that I speak. Although some people, they like every word I speak. But you take whatever piece of information that is useful. And today you might only like a few sentences. 3 years from now you might find something else that you didn't understand before and you like it. Take it. And maybe someday give me some credit, if credit is due. Now, because we have this competition for the administration of a people, again, there's no evil agenda. A government is responsible for the administration of a people, of a nation. Government is an administration, administrates the nation, and they can do a good or poor job. In civilizations, you have advanced races who are more developed, who have more technology, who have more wisdom, more knowledge. They're supposed to help a civilization progress. But they can also hurt. They can slow down. They can hobble a civilization. Now, some of you get contacted by various beings, whether it's an insectoid, a feline, an advanced ball of light, a race of people, angels, advanced scientists deep underground in installations no one is supposed to know about. Whatever it is, you are aware of it. But in many cases, you can't remember everything. In some cases, you have trace memories. In some cases, you remember things, especially if you need to share, you need to teach. But there are certain pieces of information that will be blocked, will be secret. For example, the location, or the type of spaceship you are in, the location of the base. Sometimes the race of the people will be obscured. Sometimes you may visit, you may be abducted. You may even go to have a near-death experience, and you go to heaven. And a lot of information is conveyed, but when you come back, you can't remember it all. Again, that's not only to protect you from being overloaded and going nuts, being possessed by this new information. And some people have that, they're stuck with that. Some people they're bringers of knowledge. But for the most part, things are kept blocked to protect them, because other agencies, the cabal are trained in this. Other races, other agencies, magicians, they can read information from an individual. So you may not know that. You may not believe that. But if you're advanced, that is the way it is. So an advanced race gives knowledge to somebody and says, hey Paris, your research on the space fleet is accurate. And now those people, they have a location, they have an identity. That's all blocked because someone's going to read me and going to find them. Now, it may be more difficult to read me, but people are very easy to read when you have professionals, when you have advanced people who have this technique. They are people who go reading, finding information. Where's the base? What's the technology? What's the secret? What's the cure? What's the plan? Who is he talking to? Where is he getting his information from? If we can interrupt that information, we can subdue the target, right? We can target the guy and we can manipulate him, mind manipulate him. We can do a psychological attack and confuse and scare the crap out of him. So we have this competition. So don't be dismayed if you can't remember everything, because it's there to protect you. You just need to remember the little pieces, the little crumbs, and then you have to act on those little crumbs. Do this, look into that, do a little research, get back on that project you abandoned, and that each piece will get you to the next piece, and it will activate another memory, it will activate another memory. And we have to get off of this, I have to have the whole plan. Because if you have the whole plan, someone else has the whole plan, and fuck the plan. There's no more plan because it's going to be intercepted. It will be shut down. And it can be shut down without even your knowledge. One day you got a plan, the next day you wake up and you're doing something else. You completely forgot. It's wiped out because they got that knowledge. So you don't have to understand all of this, but try to be aware that there are protocols to protect you. There are protocols to protect your mission so that no one can stop your mission. And there are protocols to protect the people sharing information so that they are not attacked, they are not discovered, right? Because even the best intention, oh, I won't tell anybody, it's inside of you and someone can draw it out. Just, if you don't understand that, just accept it as a possibility. And respect, again, respect the process that they know better. Now, people will argue, well, there's other things going on, and there are the MyLab and the Cabal attacks, and they're also doing similar things. Well, it's a difficult to navigate business. You're gonna get great information, you start to act, and then you might get conflicting information, you might be corrupted, you might be twisted, you might be sent into fear, and that's all designed to stop your progress. In some cases, you know, you might wake up and want to meet somebody or contact somebody or help somebody, and then you go out to help them, and you guys make a plan for a future meeting, and something happens to you, and then you never help them. And that could be an attack, right? Because if you wake them up, they get their mission. So we don't want that. So we stop you right there. So you have to be, I think it works on a lot more, you have to be a lot more subtle in how you move and how you have to be more professional. You have to be more of a professional that trusts that these things are going on, trust that the information is important. Understand that there is conflicting information, there is corruption, there are attacks. And, be centered enough to know that your mission and where you are supposed to go. You're not supposed to know everything. I don't know everything. In many times, I felt that I knew enough. I knew it a lot, and I was continuing to learn. But I've said it before, I don't want to know everything. Because I'm not here to learn everything. I'm here to do things, and when I need to know, I learn it. And then I do more. and then I learn some more, and I can do some more. Like, some people are waiting for all the knowledge to come in, the full understanding. No. You might have a basic understanding of magic or shamanism. That's enough for you to move forward. You can't wait for everything. You can't say I'm a master shaman, but you can say you're on the path, right? You can walk the path. It's like in karate, you have the white belt and the yellow and the green and the blue and the purple and the brown and the black belt. You don't get a white belt and then you wait till you get a black belt before you say, I practice karate, I'm a karate master. No, you say, I practice karate, I'm a yellow belt. And people know you're not very good. And then you say, I practice karate and I have a blue belt. And they say, wow, blue, you are tough. It's the same thing with knowledge and your path. You keep moving forward. You don't start saying you're a master. I don't think I'm a guru. I've never said I'm a guru. I don't want to be a guru. If people start calling me a guru, I'm going to start making mistakes. I'm going to start saying some crazy shit. And people are going to say, that guy is not a guru. And I say, yeah, I told you. So I do that a lot. Like, as soon as the people start worshiping, I start doing something crazy. And then you lose a lot of subscribers. The other thing that's happening is, as we are growing and changing and getting information, advanced information, new information, as the battle towards ascension, the waking up, again, ascension to me is anything that increases your awareness. Now, some of the spiritual guys are going to say they're going to try to get you ascension, and they're going to make this big mystical, the occult. You know, the occult is like ascension, sacred knowledge. Forget about all that. It's just increasing your awareness. I am aware of other dimensions. I've ascended. I am aware that there are star beings. I am aware I have chakras. I've ascended. There's no master ascension. There's no lifting up the body and traveling into space and meeting the universal creator. You don't have to wait for that to say, to use the word ascension. Ascension is just this process of growth, spiritual growth. I'm tapping into people. I have morality. I have feelings. I want to leave the world a better place. I want to talk about star beings. You know, I want to know more about near-death experiences. I want to share my experience. All of this is ascension. It's ascension. Ascension. We have to move away from making these terms, creating like this fear around these terms. Yeah, and I don't take, when I say ascension, it's just, I'm more aware. I could be more aware. Astral dimensions, I've ascended. I've been on astral planes, I've ascended. I'm not at the end of my ascension. I am not the master of the universe. I'm just aware of something. The more we become aware of things, and we're seeing it now, like everything is starting to open up, little by little opening up, because we are ascending. As we open up, we're going to see things disappear. We're going to lose interest in things, and they're going to disappear. Right? Things will just be deleted. Things are no longer important. So even in your life, you may have certain goals, and then you ascend, and those goals, they belong in the past. And you have to let that go, or you have to deal with that. You have to make some change. So as we ascend, we can't carry the burden. We can't carry all of our secrets, all of our knowledge from the past. So that stuff has to go. And as more and more people do that, changing careers, changing relationships, changing goals, refining, right? Refining, make yourself smaller. As we do that, things will disappear. Like recently, the VW Bug, you know, the VW Bug, the classic Beetle, the Beetle car, the VW Beetle. Well, it stopped production. That's the end. No more Beetles are going to be manufactured. AKA, it has disappeared. It's been deleted. It's no longer necessary. This was the same with the flip phone. When we had the flip phones, where is the flip phone? It's gone. Because a new idea, the smartphone, entered. So as society ascends, we're going to see things disappear. You know, the gasoline engine may just one day just stop being produced, and we'll all be electric or solar powered or fusion powered. Airplanes will stop using jet fuel at some point. That's from our ascension. That's the power of ascension. Because the more you understand, the more you learn, the more you realize there's an alternative, there's a better alternative, the less relevance these things have, right? If we had electrogravitic technology, which we do in classified projects, if we had that available, if somebody was able to introduce it to the public, and people accepted that idea, ascended, we would see the disappearance of jet fuel. We would see the disappearance of the jet engine, the turbine engine, the jet turbine, and it would be replaced. The plane might still have wings, but there would be something else. And that could happen like that. That is the power of ascension. And that is why the competing races, the competing stellans, have made such effort to prevent ascension. That's why the cabal is in the middle, right? They're filtering, they're blocking as much as possible, because they know if they were gone and we had direct contact, everything would change, including the power structure, the monetary system. And they don't want that. So there's a process. They can't stop it now, but they're trying to stretch it out. Because it is that fast. If I give you electrogravitic technology, which is technology to fly without fuel, right? You would demand that airlines adopt this stuff. You would demand that cars start flying. And people would stop flying unless this technology was adopted. So to prevent that radical shift in aerospace, the cabal they set up this wall. We've talked about the cabal. In many industries, they are the gatekeepers. So they said, we are not letting this stuff out. But it's going to come out. It's just, it won't come out immediately. It's being used right now. It's been used for decades. You know, there are bases on the moon. They've been there for decades. There are human beings on the moon. They've been there for decades. Mars, decades. So, but we're not aware of it. Because our awareness is blocked. There are so many blocks, we're hobbled in many ways. We're afraid to think that. People are afraid to think that there are bases on the moon. Because then they'd have to change the way they look at NASA. They'd have to change the way they look at the moon landings. They have to change. So this is one of the barriers to ascension, is that to accept a new idea, I have to let go of the old ideas, the old beliefs, right? To accept the interpretation of a maker, I have to change my belief in God. And that's a challenge for a lot of people. To accept that there are chemtrails, I have to accept the fact that the government is doing it. And that means that's not a government that's looking after my interests. That means that there are secrets. To accept the fact that there are climate weapons, which is an ascension, it's a change in awareness. To accept that there are climate weapons in space, and they've been there for decades, I have to change my idea about global warming and carbon taxes and climate change. And the people selling that, the people selling climate change, are the salespeople for this cover story, because the real change, the real climate changers are climate weapons, weather weapons, right? They can cause hurricanes and earthquakes, tornadoes, tsunamis, you name it, right? Wildfires, heat waves, polar storms. That is behind climate change. But we all believe, they made us believe in climate change. The gatekeepers, the cabal, climate change. That's why. And then you get all the salespeople. According to the scientists, we have the facts. Climate change is the greatest threat to human history, human beings. No, it's not. Climate weapons. Now, for people to go from here to climate weapons is a big leap, because they want to see pictures. They want to see more stuff. They have to get through that. They have to get through that block, that firewall, right? And these guys are good. So that's ascension. As soon as I accept the fact that there are climate weapons, the next time I hear that there's a hurricane, I automatically think someone hit that city. If it's an American city, then it's who is after the Americans. Then you look at what's under negotiation. What are the governments talking about? Like what's going on for them to attack? Who did it? And there's only several nations who have this technology. And the cabal have this technology. Pretty soon, everyone's going to have this technology, and it's going to be like a climate Armageddon. And then people are going to realize that this is not weather, this is not natural. And they say it, this is not natural. It is not natural. Weather weapons are not natural. But again, that's an ascension. You see? If you want to accept that, you can't accept the story. If you accept the moon bases, that we didn't go to the moon. And they have technology to go to the moon. In 20 minutes. In 20 minutes we can be to the moon. Then you're saying, well, I want that technology. Why am I still flying in a Boeing 747? Why am I driving a car with gasoline? Why are we still using batteries? Why are people still starving? Right? That's the challenge. The challenge is, the ascension challenge is not only learning, it's about letting go. As we let go of stuff, things will disappear. You will see things like just being deleted. People will disappear, jobs will disappear, professions will disappear, technologies would just disappear, right? Ideas will disappear, and in their place, new things will appear. And once we accept new things, we will forget about the old, right? And that's that process. So, on your road to victory, remember, find your own path and your own process. You don't need to know everything to be useful. You just need to do what you are supposed to do. And if that changes, you change with it. Because if I want to do X, Y, Z, and then someone does X and Y, then I don't have to do it. I can just do Z. If no one does X, Y, Z, then I have to do X, Y, Z. So the more as we choose our missions, you will find, well, I don't have to do that anymore. I don't have to be famous anymore. There's enough people being famous. I don't have to be a filmmaker. There's enough people being filmmakers. I don't have to talk about star beings. There's enough people talking about star being. Right? So you lose those things because they're being taken care of. And if not, you have to do it. If you see an opportunity, you have to go do it. Develop a new app, develop an electrogravitic technology.